Welcome back to Never Sports Network podcast. Me and Chase are rocking with you, joined by two-time high school state champion and the latest Wabash Valley College recruit, CJ Powell. Welcome back, actually, for those of you who listened to this a while. CJ's been here before. We went through the whole, 2021 NCAA tournament, I think it was? We were completely wrong.
Oh, yeah.
But it's March Madness, so what it is. But welcome, man. It's good to have you on. Good to have you on.
Be here. Food and the boys.
Food and the boys. Speaking of, shout out to Junction.
Speaking of, let's go ahead and crack one up.
Let's go ahead and crack it.
Let's do it.
Dude, Hannibal's in your room punching the air right now because he smells it.
That's right.
You know how to get that large, too.
Oh, always. I mean, I ate before I came because I ran late. Well, actually, technically, CJ was here late, but he's the star attraction, so he can be here whenever he wants.
Of course.
Now, Wabash Valley finished runner-up, correct, in the JUCO College World Series, losing to Central Florida, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Just, you committed when? Like, when was your official commit date?
Last fall, about October-ish, I went up there on a visit, and went great. Loved the coaching staff, Biddle, and the guys on the team. Whenever I stayed there, I actually stayed there 3 nights in a row. Perfect, loved it. And it's 10 hours away from home, but like the second I got there, little small town, but I'm used to that, so it definitely felt like home already. I'm just ready to get going.
Now, with everything that's going on, what's the difference? I know you haven't really played your first official game, but what can you tell us the difference between college baseball, whether it's at the JUCO level or not, and high school baseball?
So the difference I've learned this summer, pretty much,
yeah, because he's definitely going to not know the difference between your already almost eating pizza and his one bite that he's taking.
Oh yeah, but the difference is summer. Like the guys, they're grown men,
Oh yeah.
So just that whole entire intensity level and the pace of the game already. Like the guys that are there, D3, D1, D2, NAI, whatever it may be, JUCO in my case, they're all on top of it. Like you can't tell the difference from a D1 guy from a D3 guy. Their work ethic is all the same. And for me going into Wabash, it's just having that same mentality. Keep that work ethic up and go with it. But other than that, not too much of a difference. I mean, I'm gonna play my game, but just the intensity level and the pace of play.
Now, for those of you who don't know, CJ is a catcher, and as his self-proclaimed agent, because I've gotten an actual MLB team to look at him. Shout out to the Nationals. Have you seen anything different with that? Just the aspects of being a catcher from high school to JUCO. What's different in that aspect for position-wise? So being around a bunch of
pitchers this summer, because pitcher, catcher, battery.
Absolutely.
And you learn a lot from them, and they can learn a lot from you. So the biggest thing for me, being a catcher on Wabash, we have a great pitching staff. I can't wait to get there and work with them. But for me, it's just learning from my teammates, learning from them, and just kind of building off of that. And I think that's going to be a big difference for me at the college level. It's just using my first year to obviously go in, take a spot, but learn. That's what JUCO's for, is to go in and get better and learn. And for me, that's the biggest thing.
I think, from what I've seen from you, you've been catching college pitchers for a couple of years now. You caught Wagner, I believe, who was.
He was at Maryland, but now he's gonna be at Gaston.
Okay.
So potential to play him in the World Series type thing.
That'd be fun.
And then last year, you obviously got Tugger, who is at Arkansas now.
Right, and last year, so my role for TBS last year, senior year, played outfield a lot. Loved the outfield, and
I didn't even know you played outfield over there. Wow,
almost the whole entire season.
Played first base, and I went and watched him.
Oh yeah, and that's another thing too. Just being able to be put wherever. I mean, whether it's first base, which obviously in the college level I won't be there.
Yeah.
Because then you get your defined position. But playing outfield, I love it. I played there championship series 2 years ago, and then I played there this past year, and I also played a game at first. So because I went to 3 games against Westchester. So
that was the state championship, wasn't it?
That was.
Now you did reclass in high school, and you went back a year, correct?
Correct.
What was the pros and cons of that? Because I know obviously an obvious pro is you get looked at more, but what are some other good and bad of reclassing?
So it's a mental thing. I mean, that was the biggest difference for me, is like the mental side of it, because everybody knows the whole COVID thing happened, and using that extra year to, for one, get back in the classroom and like actually take time to do my work and learn again instead of being online. Because I mean, let's face it, that wasn't good for
Anybody.
I barely passed.
Thank God I was in college at that point.
And I think, well, we were all together at that time in school, correct? Or
I was a senior, so technically I didn't have to do any more work.
Yeah, exactly.
So
and for me, that was going in my junior year pretty much. So like I had to stay back here to like figure it all out.
That is a big jump that you obviously got to do the right way.
Right.
Because I mean, as me, I was a year ahead of you when you were a junior. I missed out on my entire junior season that you would have been a part of, and my entire senior season. So I could understand wanting to get that high school level of ball played when they try to take it away from you. Because I know that's important. You can't skip steps in the process.
If there was like one con you had to say of reclassing, what would that be?
I mean, there's definitely a few. As far as like the academic side and baseball, but as far as baseball goes, one con would just be like the social aspect of it, I'd say.
Yeah.
I mean, because baseball is gonna be baseball, and there's really no con for as far as like playing the game.
I mean, you get to play more baseball, yeah.
Right. It's just like the social aspect. I mean, you build like those close bonds like with your current graduation class, and then they graduate.
Jump back a year, yeah.
So that was one thing, but I mean, I had no problem like with my teammates for the last 2 years. Loved them. I mean, back to back, you know.
Yeah, I mean, back to back state champs is always that's something to bring a team together.
But one thing I wanted to say, as you mentioned, we were high school teammates for a point. It was, what was the difference when you jump from a team that has no shot at a state championship at Eastern Alamance to a team that they're winning school? They win in basketball, they win in baseball. They are.
I mean, the Burlington school basically runs Alamance County as it is.
Yeah, I think that's the culture there. I mean, granted, it's a private school, so I mean, you get a little bit of pull, and you can kind of choose a little bit who you want. But like at the same time, like you go there knowing there's no guaranteed spot.
Yeah,
there's nothing like guaranteed, and like it's a work ethic. I mean, this past year, I'll get a little bit into that, but like the biggest difference is just like not even like the talent. It's just like the want to be there. You know, like you don't go from your class into this. Like go to practice just to go to. Like you go there to put work in and get better.
Because I know that year we were supposed to end up playing together. We had those workouts before the season started, and there was 5 guys there.
Right, and that's a great point. Like for TBS, like Chad Hahn does a great job with that program. Like phenomenal coach. Love playing for him. And the biggest thing is like, yeah, it's not mandatory in the fall, but every player on that roster knows. Hey,
you better show up.
Show up. Because obviously, like, the North Carolina rule, like, you can't have, like, set practices in the fall and all that, so it's workouts. So, like, a lot of the guys got together and put it together, you know? Seniors last year, and then the 2 years ago, they all took a big role in that, because we had 9 seniors my second junior year. So, that was a big thing, too. And it's just the environment, man. Like, it was great.
What would you say so far leading up to this point in your baseball career? What has been your favorite moment? Was it winning a back-to-back state championships? Was it, you know, a certain game that you played in? Like, what would you say was the moment where you kind of sat back and you were like, this is why I play baseball?
Maybe shutting the trash talker up in the stands, or making mama proud. Maybe the way somebody else feels.
Hitting a home run and throwing the bat like you do every single time. Just chunk the bat.
Not all the time, but
when you finally figure out what bat flip you want to do to where you don't look incredibly stupid.
But like, no, I'm gonna give you 2. All right. So I'm gonna give you a personal one.
State championship 1 and state championship 2.
I'm gonna give you a personal example, and I'm gonna give you kind of like an overall example.
All right.
So a personal one this last year for me, it was definitely a top moment. So I got hurt. I missed 3 games at the very end of the season. I actually thought my season was done. I dislocated my shoulder. I thought I had no chance of coming back, but luckily enough, figured out a way to play. And my first game back was first round of playoffs, right? And we finished the season. We lost to Grace Christian, and that's a program that is going to win.
Oh, they're going to be incredible. I've heard their name a lot.
Right.
And they're kind of newer into the competitive side.
They were 1A, and now they're 2, and already, I mean, phenomenal. But anyway, we lost to them, and then the game was supposed to be played at our home, and we had to go back to them. I couldn't play that game, and the boys just went out there and fought. We had Tucker on the mound, and he pitched great. And then hitting wise, everybody showed up that game. But then playoffs come around, first round. It's my first game back. Hadn't played in 2 weeks probably. And first pitch, it's like, I think I'm batted fifth that game or something like that. First pitch to me, hit a home run. And it was in the playoffs senior year, and it was just like
it's kind of that I'm back moment.
Yeah.
Like, especially when you said that you thought that your season would be done. We could be sitting here talking about a whole different thing with the way college is going and everything like that. Because you weren't committed at that time.
No, I was this year.
You were.
Yeah,
you
this
were
was this past year.
But still, but still, it could have definitely swung a few things around.
Mm-hmm.
But something I want to ask before you get to your next story is, when you're out for that 2 week period of time, how do you stay prepared to get up there on the first pitch and hit one right off the bat?
I mean, it's just doing every little thing you can to get back into there. I mean, a big tool that I use a lot is the Oculus headset, the Win Reality.
Okay. I've seen that actually.
I mean, it's nowhere near game like. I mean, because you can't get that feeling, especially like adrenaline.
Yeah.
But like, as far as just seeing something come in and time it up, that's probably about the best thing I can get if I'm not playing the actual game or like in a cage. But it was just doing every little thing I can and just rehabbing a lot. But as far as that moment goes, it was definitely a big one, because first game back, first pitch, home run. It was in the playoffs.
Now, what was your overall moment?
So the overall one, final game of my senior year, it was game 3 of the state championship. And not many people know this. I'm going to go ahead and put it out there, but not many people know this. So the fourth inning, no, maybe fifth inning comes around, and I got hit by a pitch, and
I've heard this story.
I was told I leaned into it. I didn't. We got the video. And it was the fourth time that weekend I got hit. So, like, I was a little bit upset, you know. I didn't really say much.
And I know you've gotten hit or walked a lot in your...
Oh, yeah.
Especially the more your power came up, I would text you, and I'd be like, how'd the game go? And you'd be like, I got walked 4 times every play appearance. And, you know,
But, and that happens. I get back in the box, hit a high fly out. Because, I mean, when you get back after hitting, like, you're just kind of like, okay. I just got hit. It's getting called back. I got another strike on me. Like, it's just like a mental thing, you know what I mean? So I round first base, come back to my dugout, and I say a choice word. And it wasn't directed towards nobody. And we also got that on video for the proof of that. But, like, umpire heard it, and I got tossed. And in that moment, it's like everything kind of stood still. Like, I was like, my high school career is done.
Yeah, like, this is how it ends.
Like, we had a lead, and Cooper Kelly, he's a guy at TBS who last year was an 8th grader. And he's playing on Kings American now. He was one of the best players I've seen at his age. Like, phenomenal guy. Well, he saw me in the dugout. I was very emotional.
Oh, obviously, your high school career just ended. So
and especially getting ejected like that.
Yeah.
In the last game. I mean, it's a great way to go out now, like, thinking about it.
It's just hilarious looking back on it.
But just him coming up to me in the dugout, kind of just being there for me and telling me, I'll remember this forever. He's like, we got your back. We're going to win. And sure enough.
Luckily, you guys
pulled
it
out there, closed it out, and we won. And that, for me, was probably my most memorable moment overall. I mean, obviously, instead of getting to go from the outfield in and dog pile, I had to go from the dugout.
Yeah.
But I got to experience it both ways.
Yeah.
One in the outfield and one in the dugout. But
yeah, I mean, it's just that feeling of winning a state championship. Would you say the first one felt better? Not really better, but like more meaningful than the second? Or would you say the second was a little more?
I mean, the
tempers were high, it sounds like.
The team we had 2 years ago, for that first one,
was just
like, everybody knew, like, we're going to go in and just handle business.
Yeah, like, it was one of those things where it's like,
the amount of talent we had on that team, like, we had a starting 12 instead of starting 9. Like, we had so many great guys on that team, and we found a way to get it done almost every time we got on the field. I mean, we had a few losses, obviously.
Yeah, I mean,
baseball, you know?
Baseball, nobody's ever going to go undefeated in baseball at, like, higher levels.
Mm-hmm. And, like, we went to that state championship series. I mean, Mercy Rule game 1.
Yeah.
Second game was kind of tight, but we ended up putting 11 up on them.
Yeah.
And then it was over. You know?
So it's just like
I didn't get like a chance to get my adrenaline up other than for that dog pound. Now, granted, it was great. First program, state championship, but and I'm sure I'd have a different opinion on it if I wouldn't have won the second one.
yeah.
But that second one, halfway through the season, we're sitting like right at 500. And I was like, all right, senior night coming up soon.
It's going to be a dogfight. Let's go.
And then, obviously, like at private schools, everybody makes playoffs. Now, you can choose to be in or out, but like, so like, making the playoffs was not a worry.
No.
Like, it was never even a thought. Because, like, everybody gets in. But what we had to worry about was when are we going to go on the road? And we went on the road to play Rocky Mount. And to play Rocky Mount, like, that game was an absolute dogfight.
Oh, yeah.
And we got the job done there, had a grand slam in that one, and we get the state championship series. Well, actually, I missed a key point. We had to play Wayne Country Day in the semifinal at their place.
Mm.
We have never beat them until that game.
Like ever in program history?
Ever.
Wow.
So I think everything leading up to the state championship for this year made it that much more.
Made it just so much more.
Yeah.
Was there like, because I'm sure you know a lot of the pitchers you faced and everything, was there one guy where when you went to the plate you were like, oh God, like I like just either he had your number or you just like.
Well, if you guys have my number. But definitely the Wayne Country Day guys. I mean, they were lights out, man.
Just
like
incredible. Was it velocity wise or just their control?
Yeah, it's everything. They're good. I'm not 100% sure of his name, but I'm pretty sure it's Braden Collins. He came in there.
Figured out. I feel like I'm
absolutely shoved. I mean, he came in and we had the bottom of our lineup up, and we got walked, an overthrow error, and we bunted, and we Julian Ariola, he's a senior now actually. He hit a ball, smoked it on the ground. We ended up winning 3-2 against Wayne Country Day. But that guy facing me, I mean, it was strike one, strike two, ball in the dirt, strike three.
Yeah, like
I was just like, all right, whatever.
It was one of those things where you just went to the plate and you just realized like I have no power in this situation.
It was just that's probably like one of the guys in high school. I was like, okay, this is pretty legit.
This is I'm gonna go up here. I'm probably gonna strike out on 4 pitches and I'm gonna go back to the dugout and have a good day. Now I want to go back to kind of the injury situation because I know at Eastern, a little bit at TDS, you were dealing with a massive hamstring injury. That was one of the first parts where me and you talked, and you didn't know what your future was because of how bad that hamstring was at the time.
I don't think that hamstring injury at Eastern was severe. It wasn't severe. It was just the fact. It was the fact of I'm not starting the season with my team.
Yeah,
that felt so heavy at the time.
Yeah, and also it seemed like it was just like it just constantly stayed with you.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up. So like a big part of like getting that to go away was training. I was training the complete like wrong way.
No,
like. I mean, I was 16 at the time, and I pulled them back to back, you know. And I'm 19 now, and like just like the mindset, like taking care of my body, like in the weight room and all that, has just like phenomenally changed. So like I've had great coaches along the way helping me out, and it's just not training like a bodybuilder, but training like an athlete.
I was about to say because I remember you would go to the gym a lot, and like it seemed like you would hit a new PR every day.
And that was during that COVID time too.
And I think we talked about it, and I think that's when I kind of told you, like, hey, you might want to slow down a bit, you know, your body with the stress and everything, and that's like a little bit before you pulled your hamstring and everything. But obviously, you know, when you go in the gym, you know, you just want to move weight. So I understand.
And as I know CJ Powell, when CJ, let's say he has a bad game, let's say he's upset at family, CJ goes to the gym.
He's going to go
CJ goes and plays baseball. So I'm sure that COVID time, it wasn't easy for anybody.
No,
you were burning that steam off in the weight room.
And COVID is when this podcast started. So I mean, around that time was literally when this actually our the 3-year anniversary was.
It was like a week ago.
Friday. Friday was the 3-year anniversary of the podcast. So shout out to this, but yeah, I mean, it was literally just around that time. You know, nobody really had anything to do.
Right.
So a lot of people had to figure stuff out. For me, it was turning to a podcast. For you, it was the gym and whatever baseball you could find.
Right.
And it's just, I mean, it was one of those things, but just the amount of injuries that, you know, because a lot of people don't think injuries are accustomed with baseball because of just, you know,
the lack of contact.
It's not a contact, contact sport.
It's all about your training, man.
Oh, yeah, no.
And that, credit TBS for this. I mean, I got there and I never had a single, like, body injury that was, like, not really, like, getting hit or something, you know? And I mean, because like the shoulder one, I dove into a bag. So that's not like nothing that you can like really control.
Yeah, it's just.
But Chad Holland just engraved in us like be an athlete, move like an athlete.
100%.
The second I got there, I had zero problems, and that's also like a maturity thing too. Is knowing that hey, I don't have to throw 4 or 5 in the squat and then post it.
Yeah, I can
just go in, do my work, hit my trap bar, do my box jumps, do my movement work, and go on.
Yeah.
And ever since I started doing stuff like that, I mean, I have my fun in the gym. Like I still hit biceps here and there.
Yeah,
I'll do forearms, and that's a good baseball lift.
If I'm feeling better,
yeah.
If I'm feeling that like that guy, I'm gonna go in there and move some weight. But yeah, I mean it is, and that's another thing about like, it's just, and that's a big misconception about the gym in general.
Mm.
People think you have to go in there and just max out.
All workout isn't good workout.
No,
it's not.
Right.
I mean, I've been in the gym for 3 months and not looked any different. And he went to the gym for 3 months and bulked up, but messed up his hamstring.
Yeah,
so you got to know what you're doing. As a young athlete, going up, you have dreams of playing in the future. And a lot of sports and teams, you get one big injury, one big knee, a lot of things, and coaches aren't looking at you. You're a pitcher, one bad elbow injury away from losing your future. So you got to take care of yourself in the weight room.
One more thing before we transition into the NFL and everything. I lost it. But yeah. If you could sit there and tell a young athlete, if you had one piece of advice coming up for them going through high school and maybe not really getting looked at as much, what is the one piece of advice you have for a young athlete in today's era? The post-COVID, because people. The recruiting process is completely different.
Right.
It's different from 2019. So what is the one piece of advice you have for somebody who may be struggling to get offers, just struggling in general in any sport?
Yeah, and having 2 younger brothers, I mean, it's definitely like a thought process for me in general. And if I had one piece of advice for like the recruiting process, like it's gonna happen at some point. And I wish like I would listen to that. I mean, I'm so happy like with writing it up. And you just gotta be patient. Like, keep doing you. Like, you see like the scouts in the stands. I was bad about this, and just like tense enough. Like, you gotta have fun with it. Like, if you're not having fun, like,
so one
you gotta do that. Yeah. And for me, my recruiting process was not fun. Like, I was tense every single game, and it was just something like I need to get out of. So like, I was trying to press too hard with everything. So like the younger athletes, especially like with today's game, like there's 12-year-olds hitting ball 350.
Yeah,
I mean, like that big kid for the USA team. I think I saw that.
Yes,
over the center field batters. I mean, that's today's game. I mean, people are absolutely massive. I mean, everybody is just crushing the ball, throwing harder, and like in the field too, like just so clean. But like everybody has a place. I mean, if you want to play ball, I mean, work hard enough for it, and you're gonna like end up somewhere.
So your ultimate goal is obviously majors.
Yeah, but like. That's every athlete's goal, but my main thing was college. I mean, I've always wanted to go to college, especially playing baseball. And I mean, if you're not playing baseball, like go to that next level. I mean, you might want to rethink a little bit.
Yeah.
But like for me, my goal the whole entire time has been to go to college and get college paid for a little bit, and stuff like that, and just go get an education. I mean, 40-year play versus a 4-year. Just having something that I can take with me like throughout life.
And that's something that, I mean, I'm a nobody at this point, but I played with you. I played growing up, played heavy. But about my junior, senior year, my heart just shifted away from it.
Right.
And it does happen. And at that point, you don't need to force it. But I personally have found a new love for baseball through coaching. Mm-hmm. So there's a place for that knowledge and a place for that energy that you can still make something good out of. And that might not be college, that might not be the leagues, but it could be helping this kid at home know he's good enough.
Right.
Or something like that. So baseball, I've always thought that baseball was always not important, but good for life lessons. Mm-hmm. You can learn a lot through baseball. But one last thing, as you mentioned, the kid from Team USA is I know with the day after the Tim Anderson fight happened, and he mentioned your bat flips. How do you feel about the people who are letting the youngins play versus the people that want to keep it the same?
I mean, there's a time and a place. I mean, I feel like emotion has a big thing to do with it. I mean, whenever I bat flipped this past season, first game back, first pitch home run. Talked about that already. And like that's like whenever I did bat flip. But like there's a time and a place to scream coming off the mound, scream like after a big play, like let loose. I mean, if you're beating a team like 15-0, obviously have fun, but like dial it back a little bit. I mean, flip it if you want, but like young kids, I mean, they're gonna do what they want to do. Like they are gonna go out there and do anything they want, and I think that's like obviously, like I think it's kind of good for baseball.
Yeah.
I mean, people who don't watch baseball say it's boring. You know.
Yeah.
You throw in little fights here and there, the bat flips, the pitchers who scream come off the mound. I know Karen Check does that a lot. Just guys like that who bring energy. Trevor Bauer, I mean, he's over in Korea playing
somewhere.
Right now? Yeah, somewhere
tearing it up.
Yeah, I mean, obviously everybody knows the past with him, but like he's a character on the field.
Yeah,
and like that makes people watch.
And we've talked about in our podcast separate is baseball. It's time if you want to be a mainstream sport. It's time for you to make a move. And you got these Shohei Ohtanis, you got these Ellie De La Cruzes. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the old heads aren't too happy with those, but they're bringing in viewership. They're bringing in money.
Yeah,
to the league.
baseball is becoming fun again in a sense that it's bringing in what they've wanted to bring in. Because in all honesty, baseball and viewership wise is far behind the NBA and the NFL. But the introduction of the pitch clock, making the games faster, you know. Their advertising of certain players, it's making it more enjoyable and it's making you want to watch it. So I think with baseball, that's the biggest thing. But let's transition into the NFL because I know you are a Tennessee Titans fan. They're not going to be that good.
That's not true.
But you know what? It's okay because you're sad. You deserve better, but you can go sit somewhere and listen to sad country music anyways.
Hey, don't hit my country music. All right. And the Tennessee Titans, going it right now, winning the AFC South by a landslide.
That's not true, but
what? The Jags, horrible. We're gonna sweep them.
I think what you just missed is me and you happen to be friends on Apple Music,
and I just quoted your exact sad country music playlist name. I was waiting for you to catch it.
That was back in January, all right?
That was a beautiful segue, though.
That was beautiful. I do want to look through your playlist a little bit and ask you when these artists, these albums come into your rotation. When do you listen to these guys?
Like pregame,
Right.
whatever. We're going to get to one he's going to be like, anytime past midnight.
All right, let's go ahead and start with the hot one right now. Utopia, Travis Scott. When do you listen to Travis Scott?
Never.
You don't?
That's awful. I listened to that just because, like, the hype around it. I know it was the only good song on there, and maybe one more. Not a big Travis fan at all.
Really?
No.
I like some of his songs, but it's not. I like some of his older stuff. Some of the newer stuff I don't really listen to.
All right, next we're gonna go with Kevin's Heart by J. Cole.
On the bus.
That is the name of this playlist. Riding on the bus to the game to take an early lead and lose in the sixth.
Is that your mindset before every game?
No. So that playlist started. Yeah, that's like a remake of it. I got a new phone, but that started at Eastern Alabama. Whenever we would get up on people and then just
every time.
So that playlist
just to take an early lead and lose in the sixth.
Yeah. So that playlist is kind of a sad one if we lose. But
it's a sad one if we lose. Yeah, because you named it that.
Hey, I only break it out if we lose. If I have a bad game, if I have a bad game, like an air and throw the ball 100 freaking feet in the outfield, maybe.
All right.
It happened in the semifinal. But
all right, Megan Maroney.
Ooh. Oh man.
Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh.
So good. That's in the car anytime. Play it on the phone.
What's your song?
Dude. Sleep on My Side.
Sleep on My Side. I respect it.
All right. Let me get one more.
All right, go ahead.
I like my music.
When do you go and listen to some Luke
We can't play any for copyright reasons, but he loves his music.
I listen to Luke Combs all the time.
Really?
All the time?
All the time.
From Mr. Luke Combs?
See, like, I couldn't listen to Luke Combs before because, like, it was like that lovey-dovey type stuff.
Yeah.
So, like,
Trust me, I've been there. I've been there. I know. I'm there.
Hey, I got a girl now, so I can listen to it again.
So you,
all the time.
You shipped it from Morgan Wallen to Luke Combs.
Oh, absolutely.
Started.
Absolutely. I went from, what is it? Like, just the upbeat, like, I don't care attitude, country music to, like, yeah, honey. Like, Conway Twitty and all that.
Conway Twitty. Shout out to
yeah,
shout out to him.
Let's hold up.
Shout out to him.
Do I even have playlists like that? Oh, the R&B one. R&B, baby.
R&B?
You skipped over the biggest one.
Yeah, I did. So it wasn't funny.
Because it wasn't funny.
Usher,
We couldn't get anything out of you on that one, so we just decided to not do it. But let's go back to your Titans, because you said that you're gonna win the NFC South. Now
AFC South.
Or AFC South. Now you guys did have a pretty good offseason.
Absolutely.
Especially with the signing of DeAndre Hopkins. Assuming that it is the DeAndre Hopkins of old. Which I hope, because the integrity of the game would be incredible. One of the biggest moves you guys made this offseason was in the draft. And I want to get your take. Drafting Will Levis in the second round. What are your thoughts? Because you already have Tannehill and
Malik
Willis.
So, I was not against that. I mean, second round,
you
pretty much everybody thought he was going to be the first.
Yeah, no, everybody thought he was going to be in the top 5.
It was one of those things where we took Malik Willis in the third round the previous year, right? Or was it later than that? I think it was third.
It was third.
But like, once again, another guy that was first round talk, go to the third. Yeah. So it's kind of one of those things, like, he's there, take him, you know?
Yeah. You think you found a Jalen Hurts?
Yeah, definitely not. He's not. And I am a big Malik fan. I mean, on and off the field, like,
he's a great
a high character guy.
Yeah, no, he's a great guy. His work ethic's incredible. It's just the Titans have now basically buried him.
Right. And I think the potential is definitely there from the start. I mean, Ryan Tannehill, great regular season player. Postseason is not.
Yeah.
Okay. If you look at the numbers, I mean.
I would say the postseason is.
Honestly, like, the regular season for Tannehill is great.
Oh, he's a great. He is a good middle of the pack quarterback.
And I feel like, does Derrick Henry help him? Absolutely.
Derrick Henry's going to help any quarterback that he's with.
Right. But I feel like with the stuff that Tannehill has had to go through, like with the injuries, losing one of the best receivers in the league in A.J. Brown, that's my guy, A.J. Brown.
You guys gave him to the Eagles. Now I got to deal with him 2 times a year.
Yep, Giants fan, right?
All right, I want to go to something you said that I'm a little upset. You said y'all were going to sweep the Jags. That's disrespectful.
That is disrespectful to Trevor
Doug
Lawrence.
Peterson, Trevor Lawrence, Calvin Ridley.
I know my Titans.
Yeah, I do too.
We're not losing. The way that we walked into their place last year with, who was it, Dobbs? Off of the dang waivers or whatever. I don't even know what it was.
No disrespect, Joshua Dobbs.
I'm not.
Shout out to Joshua Dobbs.
That was not a fumble. It was not. It was an incomplete pass. I want y'all to know that right now.
With the tuck rule?
I want y'all to know that right now.
Tuck rule 2.0?
That was heartbreak. I mean, that game.
The Titans have always been a weird, the Titans have always been a great regular season team.
Right.
The Utah Jazz, the NFL.
They literally are.
So here's the thing, and here's why I'm very high on the Titans more than usual. Like, I'm always supporting my guys.
Yeah, of course.
Big Titans fan. I feel like you have to be. I mean, realistically, I feel like this is the best our defense has ever been.
That is the one thing
and
that
that's
I've
why
the Titans and seen, besides your receiver core, obviously. Because even before, you had A.J. Brown and
we had Corey Davis.
I mean, yeah, but
he's a great guy.
He's a great receiver.
He kind of went down to that.
Yeah, it's just the defense, especially the secondary for the Titans, have always just been getting burnt up. It seems so. It does look like you guys have improved that, but I don't know. I feel like the Levis pick was kind of out there.
I like it, but at the same time, I don't. If that makes sense.
Y'all just went from a 2-way quarterback battle to a 3-way quarterback battle. Who do you want them to choose?
Yeah, if you were the GM of the Titans and you had to start week 1,
I mean,
or if you had to end the season with a quarterback, because obviously we know Tannehill's going to get the start week 1.
I mean, I haven't seen Will play in game, but from the reports in practice,
because he's phenomenal. He was phenomenal in Kentucky.
The reports in practice, I'm looking at right now, he has the potential to be that guy, you know. But like, I don't know. Like it's like up there. I mean, you got a vet who has led the Titans to be a little bit better than a decent team. Like,
Yeah,
honestly. I mean,
multiple conference
right.
championship appearances.
And I think Tannehill has kind of maxed his like ceiling.
Oh, he's reached his peak.
And I think he actually went a little bit above what
he went above what everybody expected him to.
Yeah. And I just feel like at some point you have to move on. But yeah. I would want us to open the season with Tannehill.
Absolutely. I think
if he has a connection with Burks, which I mean we flashed out a little bit. I mean Burks got hurt, especially in your game last year against the Eagles in the end zone, knocked out. But
get better,
get stronger.
Hey, he touchdown.
Hit the weight room, I guess. I don't know.
Congrats, you got a touchdown. Now you're gonna be out the rest of the season.
But
was it worth it?
I think if Tannehill can build like a strong like chemistry with Hopkins, Burks, Kyle Phillips is going to come back this year. He's a guy that I like a lot.
I think DeAndre Hopkins is going to help out in multiple ways. With
Henry.
Treylon Burks being the one that's going to benefit the most.
Right. Because
not only are defenses mainly going to be focusing on Derrick Henry, now you have D-Hop as an obvious big target.
We've seen that happen. I mean, thank you for this, but when A.J. Brown showed up, Devontae Smith turned from below average wide receiver 1 to arguably the best wide receiver 2 in the league.
Oh,
yeah. It's him and T. Higgins. Like, it's one of those two.
Yeah,
both of them could be wide receiver
1A and 1B.
But it happens. Like,
yeah.
When, I mean, let's just say the Bengals did it with Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
Like, T. Higgins was number 1. T. Higgins is the best number 2 in the league. So it's like, we've seen it happen. We've seen it work. I just don't think Treylon Burks is a T. Higgins or Devontae Smith.
I mean,
he's definitely more of a
AJ. I think he's more of A.J. Brown.
I think he's more of a set route runner. Like, he's not. He might not, because he's kind of a taller, bigger guy, isn't he?
He is the exact same build as A.J. Brown.
Okay, yeah.
Now, I'm not comparing him to
the quickness and the speed, quickness and the speed are definitely higher on AJ's side. But Treylon Burks, from what I've seen so far, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't watch many Titans games.
Nobody does.
Nobody really does. Especially if you're around here, you're either watching the Cowboys or the Panthers, apparently. Cowboys can. I mean, Dak Prescott's already throwing interceptions in camp, so I think we'll be all right. Shout out to Christian. But I think that, you know, what I've seen from Treylon Burks is like he's just a set route runner. Like, I haven't really seen. I've seen shades of explosiveness, but you haven't really seen like the ability to make something out of nothing.
Oh yeah.
Like the ability to turn a 5-yard slant into a 35-yard touchdown. Like, he might be able to turn a 5-yard slant into a first down, but we haven't really seen that explosiveness from him. And that comes from, you know, this past season, his rookie season, where it was like Robert Woods was supposed to be the guy, and then Robert Woods kind of faltered. Derrick Henry gets hurt, comes back this past season, doesn't really have a Derrick Henry type season. He still had a good season, but not what we're used to seeing, which put a lot of pressure on Burks, because it's like, well, nobody else is producing.
Right.
So now the defense is going to look at me like, okay, we've stopped him. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
So
I think it's one of those things for Burks. Like, I would not be in those shoes. I mean, how to feel AJ Brown? The entire fan base taking out everything on him. I mean, I feel like, let's say we don't trade AJ Brown, right? And we get him in the draft. No, just hear me out. Like, we get him in the draft. I feel like he would immediately progress.
Yo, yeah, you have a great 1-2 punch.
Player. But now that he was basically like the number 1.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Woods didn't do anything.
No.
I mean, he
was your number 1 option this past season, and he wasn't.
As a rookie.
And he wasn't ready for that role, and that's not his fault. He was a rookie. I think we do see Treylon Burks take a little bit of a step. I'm not expecting a, you know, Pro Bowler type step or anything like that, but I think he jumps into the next level of wide receiver 2s. He'll definitely be in the top 15, I would say, of that category. I don't think he is already at this point, but I think he could take that step. But if with you being, you know, so enthralled into the NFL like most of us are, who's the team to beat this year? Is it the Eagles? Is it the Chiefs again? Or is there another team that didn't get to the Super Bowl?
You can't say it's not the Chiefs. You can't.
You can't say it's not the Chiefs?
It's the Chiefs.
The Chiefs are the team to beat?
And they will be until Patrick takes a step down and Andy Reid stops being Andy Reid.
And that won't happen until Patrick's contract is up. So I guess we better get ready for another.
I mean, I feel like it's gonna be one of those things where it's Eagles and Chiefs.
I mean,
I feel like that's like the new normal for this year.
I agree. It's gonna be kind of like when the like the Seahawks had their little run, where they went for a couple years in a row. I think it's the Chiefs as well. I mean, it's Andy Reid, it's Patrick Mahomes, it's Travis Kelce. The only thing that can hold the Chiefs back this year is their receiving core, where they don't have a true they don't have a true wide receiver number one. We all know what Kelce's gonna bring.
But like Pat's a guy that like he can make something out of nothing.
Oh yeah, he can make Kadarius Toney
Patrick
look like
Mahomes. Because I mean AFC,
Oh
you
yeah,
have to
he's
play
a Titans
them.
fan. He's watched Patrick Mahomes kill their dreams multiple years in a row.
Now regular season,
Y'all really do beat the Chiefs in the regular season.
Yeah,
in Arrow, I've watched y'all.
I get so happy.
Arrowhead.
I get so happy, and then I get sad.
What was the last
Listen
year?
to the sad country music because we lose.
Because I'm sad and I deserve better, so I listen to sad country music. I'm still so surprised you didn't catch that. But no, let's run through this though. Fantasy football's coming up.
You making our league again? You gonna be LM?
Always LM.
The worst
No,
LM in history.
No,
We almost nominated
worst.
Rico last year.
No.
We almost kicked him out mid-season last year.
Because you have a bunch of guys who try and gang up on me, and that sounds really bad. You have a bunch of guys.
It didn't sound bad until you pointed it out.
but like you have like a bunch of guys that like are constantly harping on you to do dumb stuff, like just unnecessary. And like I make a move to try and make it a little bit more fun for everybody. Like,
we all just hate it.
Hey, let's meet up. Let's draft. No, okay, 2 people want to show up. Never mind.
Hey, I showed up.
I was at the house.
And then I try and do like little small stuff, like let's
B-dubs.
no, okay, well that too, but like make conferences, like let's draw names out of a hat.
Let's choose college football teams to design our teams after. CJ, nobody cares.
That was the only bad one.
That was. I mean, the concept was good, like it was fun, but the only reason I rejected it is because I realized who we had in that league. There was no way we would have gotten that far. I mean, I'm pretty sure you checked Alabama's community college.
Yeah.
And then Rico put some type of name in there that I'm not gonna say on here. We were all like, "Well, gotta go."
I was trying my best to make a competitive all-cracker team. And
The funny thing is, we can say that.
I lost every game. I did not win
an all-white man team and then went 0 for 10.
No, first 9 games I had that team, and then I switched it up and won like 4 of my last few.
He finally
trying to get in the playoffs.
He finally actually played fantasy football as it should be played, and went on to make the playoffs. So,
Hey, draft is coming up, by the way.
draft is coming up.
What is it?
Have you reacted?
Look, our LM hadn't even put the draft date out yet.
Nobody in our group chat responds. I'm gonna say that right now.
They don't. They really don't.
Actually,
Yeah, let's text him right now.
Who should go number 1 this year? Is it McCaffrey again?
no, I think he's a phenomenal player. I mean, everybody knows that. But like the injuries are there.
Oh yeah.
And like
His carries
the
are down.
49ers are a team that like
His carries are down with the 49ers when Elijah Mitchell is healthy as well.
mm-hmm.
So who goes number 1 in your fantasy?
If you have the number 1 pick in this year's fantasy draft, which by the way, he also does accidentally gets himself the first pick.
No, I was not. No, I was 3.
No, yeah, you had it first.
And then we made you change it.
We made him screen record him spinning a wheel.
This is what I'm
to
talking about.
get the draft
I
order.
automatically make it something. To
He did the wheel spin, totally legit behind the scenes. He got the first pick, and we made him do it all over again.
And
And screen recording.
That was 3rd, so I'm about to do it all over again.
He got 3rd, I will say. So we ended up being okay with that. I think I ended up getting last on the second one, and I was pissed.
Let's look actually. I haven't even looked at fantasy football this year. To be real. I've been looking at the Titans though.
I can look at the Titans.
Who's your first pick?
My first pick's probably still CMC.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough to go against it. Just because it's Christian McCaffrey and the receiving
catches
side of things, just the fact that when he does get a carry, if Christian McCaffrey gets an open space,
Christian McCaffrey's gone.
It's gonna be big fantasy points for you.
Yes, absolutely.
So I do think that at the end of the day, McCaffrey's there. You have to consider Justin Jefferson up there. Obviously, if you want to go big baller, you go Travis Kelce, which is always an option to where if you pick Travis Kelce first, it doesn't really matter. It's Travis Kelce.
First of all, I made a video on TikTok and it got 88 views and no likes, so I deleted it. But
just call out the TikTok.
First overall pick. I mean, I did my top 10. Christian
Follow us
McCaffrey
on TikTok. We love you.
Christian McCaffrey is my number one. But I can also understand either Justin Jefferson or Travis Kelce.
Yes, 1000%.
Those are the three options.
Those are the three that if you draft them number one, I personally am not gonna shake my head no or anything at you. Now, some of the people in your league might question you, but it's your team, so who cares? Did you just activate our league again?
Yeah,
you did. I looked at it, I was like, what is this email from ESPN?
Element of the year.
Element of the year, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Let's move off of football back into
get my number one.
Your number one.
Yeah,
he's still looking for that?
He's still looking for it.
This is the first one I've touched it.
CJ takes his time. He takes his time. He's going into the mock drafts.
All right.
The AIs.
I'll put a little loading symbol on the screen and editing.
Just we can't use that because
this is a controversial pick.
Okay.
You're wrong.
It's a guy that I try
You're wrong.
Probably. It's a guy I take every year if I can.
You're not
Tyreek
Derrick
Hill.
Henry. Okay.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it's anytime he has Jalen Waddle with him, which is going to take the load off of him in terms of defense.
Pause.
I mean, it's just gotta make it weird, don't you?
I did have Tyreek Hill on number 4.
Right? Tyreek is always going to be, because again, Tyreek's one of those guys where if he gets into open space, good luck. There's not many, if anybody, in the NFL who can catch him. So if he gets a step on you, throw your hands up and say, "Coach, I tried."
I have a pick. All right.
All right.
4th round.
Okay.
Big 4th round value.
Pick Will Levis and stash him.
No, wrong. Do not.
Don't
waiver wire, week 10. Call it.
Okay.
For him. But anyway, Chig Okonkwo, tight end for the Titans.
I have heard that he's slated to have a breakout season. Yeah. That's
4th round. You tripping? The only tight ends you pick in the first.
I don't care. 4th
round.
4th round. He's gonna be there.
No, it's George Kittle, Travis Kelce, Darren Waller, and you take Mark Andrews. And maybe TJ Hawkinson.
They're gonna be gone.
Maybe TJ Hawkinson. That's what I'm saying. You wait.
Yeah,
The difference.
You can wait for the Titans tight end past the 4th round.
He's a guy that is going to. You're gonna regret it.
CJ, if you take him in our 4th round of our league, I'm going to laugh at you.
Send us your screenshots of when Okonkwo gets taken, and if it's past the 7th round, I just smack him in the face.
Sounds great. I'll help.
No.
We will look. Hey, okay, all right. Listen. If at least, I don't know how many people are gonna watch this. If at least 10 people can show proof that they drafted this man in the 4th round or higher, we will drive to Indiana and vlog us watching one of his games.
That's a horrible punishment, man.
we will do it solely because the content would be funny, and it's baseball. But
he had 3 touchdowns last year.
Cool.
As a rookie tight end.
Cool. You know who else did?
Look,
everybody.
Already interested.
This man has already flagged him. He's going to take him in the 4th round, and I'm just going to stop.
The group chat's going to blow up.
I will auto-draft the rest of the time.
Probably can't see it.
Tennessee Titans.
Amen.
Tennessee Titans is his fantasy team name. No originality whatsoever. I don't even know if I can say mine.
This was last year.
It's not anything too bad. I just think it.
Oh, my name was CJ, bitch.
So I have to deal with it. As league manager.
You're fine.
I think at one point last year, everybody had CJ as a.
Yes.
CJ is stupid.
Is
this the league? Yeah. Mine was just Team Cole, so I can actually say mine. I had one year where I was still going to Western. It was the Catamount Commies.
Yes.
That was the year that we did the college thing.
Oh yeah. Hey, send us your best team names as well.
Yes.
Fantasy team names.
And let us know what a punishment for last place should be.
No, don't do that.
Punishment for last place is going to watch CJ.
Okay.
I'm just playing.
Hey, pull up. Hey.
Let us know what the last place.
All right.
This is a great TikTok clip.
No, it's not.
Why did you put
So as far as
if we did have a last place punishment though, like what would that be?
I don't know. I mean, it would be like with Rico normally, but I mean, he's shipped out to.
Yeah, Rico.
Yeah.
My man in Cali. Shout out to Rico. I'm going to see him Labor Day.
When is it?
August 31st. That weekend.
I probably play baseball.
You probably do.
I probably don't get it off.
I've already asked it off. I made sure. But if I see somebody cool in Cali, I'll definitely make sure to just. So, I'm gonna run into LeBron James.
Shoot.
That's right.
But as far as your sport, your profession, baseball and the MLB, what is your picture right now of the World Series and who do you think's got the best shot as of now?
I actually just said this earlier. I mean, I'm a Mets fan, so like I have no room to talk in this at all.
They just sold their entire
Yeah,
roster.
like we're done. I mean, I think 2025 is what they said for like a competitive team. But right now, Braves and the Rangers.
We've been preaching on
The Braves are the best team in baseball by
We've been
a
preaching on
long
Braves.
shot.
Don't sleep on the Cubs though. They just won
The Cubs are on a hot streak.
I think the Cubs. I mean, they're not going to go deep in playoffs, but I think they are a playoff team. I think they're going to come back. I mean, they're not in the wild card right now, but I think they're going to come back and make a run. I mean, they are getting everything hot at the right time. I mean,
They
the
are.
season's winding down. Like, I mean, October's around the corner.
Cody Bellinger
Right.
has reinvigorated his entire career.
And speaking of him, Christian Yelich.
Yes.
Those two were at the top of baseball, and then just fell off.
It
And
was
now-
like 2 years ago, I feel like.
It was
Little
And
right
now-
before COVID.
Yep,
Right
and
before
now they're figuring it out again, and like those are two guys that like I love watching play.
COVID.
I mean-
It proves that you can always break out of a slump, and it
Mhm.
also proves like if the organization loves you enough, they'll stick through it. Like the
Right.
Brewers have kept on to Yelich.
And it also shows that if they don't love you, they won't. Like the Dodgers.
like the Dodgers.
I mean,
But,
the Dodgers though. Like,
Shout out to Bellinger.
That's what the Dodgers build on. Is
Yeah.
just they get guys when they're hot and they ship them out.
I
when
can
they're
get
not.
you for 2
See,
years,
like-
and then when you start to decline, I can send you off. Cool.
that's what the Mets try and do.
and they don't
But
go
they
well.
No, the Mets get the dudes who are after their little like spark, and the Mets are like, you can keep it going for another 3 seasons, and they can't.
Mhm.
Yeah, y'all really walked into this season as one of the favorites, and then
I was
just
happy for it. I mean, I have to worry about just like how old we were.
yeah. I mean, and I think that's what kind of hurt as well because your pitching was fine. I mean, you had Scherzer, you had Verlander. It's just the bats.
Singer's been really
The
good.
bats were just anything outside of Pete Alonso was just cold.
And I think like with the bats being very young and very old. I mean,
Yeah. Y'all
Vogelbach is a great player to watch. I mean, Danny Burgess, he does a lot.
Danny Burgers.
But I mean, he's getting up there. It's like he's just swinging with his arms, you know. Like he's got to get.
It feels like they're in the stretch right now where everybody's like, all right, let's just make it to the end of the season so I can go home to my family. Like,
Yeah.
And
They
like,
don't want it anymore right now.
You can tell too. I mean, you're losing to. You get swept by the Royals. You get swept by the Orioles.
The Orioles are tough.
I mean, they are. I mean, that's fine. But like 3 games to the Royals, bro. That's bad.
That is rough.
That's really bad.
Shout out to the Royals. They're
No.
going through
No.
a rebuilding time.
No.
Why is there Royals hate?
I don't know. None of it is.
Athletics, man.
Shout out to the Athletics. No,
We were
seriously.
talking about that whole.
the
the
reverse
reverse
boycott
boycott,
was
bro, that
incredible,
is-
and the fact they're still going to move the team is
I mean, like,
terrible.
I think 2 ways to look at it. I mean, having a team in Vegas is gonna be pretty.
It is.
I think it's gonna be really cool.
It'll be great.
But at the
Yeah.
same time, like, the A's used to be like rock solid, you know.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
it's
no
like
doubt.
in it's like the NBA's talking about rebranding, but we're not going to send the New Orleans Pelicans over to.
No,
Uh,
they'll just
the-
add an expansion,
Yeah.
add 2 expansion teams, which I don't get why. Well, I mean, I kind of get Manfred. Yeah. Shout out to Adam Silver for being a good man, for being good at his job, for being a good commissioner. There's the word.
But as a catcher, growing up, you've seen some good catchers play in the professionals. You've seen some guys, and who, I don't want to say modeled your game after, but when you went home and you went to YouTube, which I'm sure you did YouTube catching, who would you go look up? Because I know when I was going home looking up swings, it was Bryce Harper.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking up Bryce Harper's swing.
He has such a pretty swing.
It's a really good one. I have a few guys I like. 2015, Salvi.
Okay.
Salvador Perez.
100%. I mean, it was just money.
He's so smooth with his pop
Mm-hmm.
and throw to second. I mean, it's just one fluid motion. Like I know you can say that a lot about a lot of guys. When Salvi does it, it's just like he doesn't even. It's just like a machine. Like he just does it so smoothly that you would think like you don't even know what happened until it happens.
Right.
The very same was with Yadier Molina, who, in my opinion, has probably one of the best pops and throws of all time, if not the best. Yeah, Salvi was a good one.
And then I think Salvi overall, obviously Yachty. I mean, everybody's watched Yachty for catcher. But, like, going back to, like, one of the guys, like, I loved watching. Like, I mean, everything was money. Like, blocking, throwing, receiving. Just everything about the guy. Buster Posey.
I was hoping you would say
Posey,
him.
Yes.
I was hoping you would say him.
I feel like he
Posey.
definitely had a few more years left in him when he retired.
He has some swag.
He did.
He was chill, but, like, he was there too, you know?
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
if I could think of somebody else, it'd be like Dansby. Like, Dansby's got swag, but he doesn't like.
Yeah.
He's got swag, but he's got like the subtle swag.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a big Dansby fan now. He's out of Atlanta.
Dansby Swanson? Yeah, I love
like
Dansby.
him now that he's not a Brave.
I liked him when he was with the Braves, and I'm gonna be a Braves fan.
Who do you like?
Go Red Sox. We suck.
Rough day.
It's okay though. We're better than them right now.
Who do you like?
Mr. Yankee fan.
Oh my gosh, we all suck in here.
Yeah, I know. That's why we're talking about every other team.
Oh, no wonder.
Yeah, exactly. Why would I want to talk about my team? We're not doing good right now. They're bottom of the division.
But we're the top of the Twins division.
Oh, the Twins.
If we were to be in it.
Yeah, they suck. That's bad. There's the Royals division for you right there.
See?
It's
we are not shouting the Royals out.
It's what the Twins, the Royals, the Tigers, the Guardians, and the White Sox.
Okay. I think it's almost time to wrap it up. I want to talk about something.
We're going to talk about the J-Ram.
No. I was going to talk about the petition of fans doing their best to get the Washington Commanders to change their name back.
To the Redskins?
Yes. There's 25,000 signatures to change from the Commanders to the Redskins with the new ownership and everything. Mm-hmm. Do you think there's a chance that even happens with the way the climate is?
It won't happen.
I'm going to keep this brief. No.
Okay.
To avoid going into too much, it's a great gesture. It's a lot of nostalgia because we all grew up with it being the Washington Redskins. But as I liked how you worded it, as the way the climate is at the moment, it was a great part of history, and it won't come back. I like the Red Wolves.
Commanders just feels corny.
No,
I kind of got used to the Commanders. I feel like if the logo was better,
I mean, I think we can't have the football team.
Yeah, no, definitely don't go back to the football. Please don't go back to the football.
I thought about it. We all should have bought just like game jerseys from the football team. They'd be worth some money. There was only one season.
I mean, think about 25 years from now.
Yeah.
Remember that time when
Can you imagine if somebody has a what is it? Chase Young Washington football team jersey? Game worn. Do you imagine how much that will go for in like 20 years?
Oh, bro, that's a one of one.
Literally a one of one because who else has it? Like besides Chase Young himself. But no, I honestly I feel like with the Commanders, if their logo was better instead of just the W, maybe the Commanders.
Shout out Sam
Howell. I hope he has a good season. Even though I'm going to play against him, we're going to play against him 2 times a year. I hope he has a good season.
Do it, bro.
No, literally, because he's a dual quarterback.
Please do.
Please start him every year.
Round, baby.
If you draft Sam Howell first round, I will.
He's going to get Okonkwo fourth. And
our plan is if we can and everybody agrees to it, or at least the people that can, I would like to kind of record or do a YouTube video on us doing a fantasy draft, just so you can kind of like get into the the mindset, get into, see our plans as we go along. Obviously, we'll select a few because I am not bringing Wesley Spear and Wesley Donahoe into a record. They can sit there and record all we want. We will not use a single one of their things.
No.
We will get kicked off of YouTube very, very fast, and I've enjoyed the content.
Whoa, and you think that Rico's a better one?
Who said Rico was going to be involved?
Oh,
he's a Marine now. He's
yeah, Rico has to be chill.
Okay, has to?
No. But he will understand the assignment when they get to that point. But yeah, I would like to do that if we can. But I think we're going to wrap it up here. CJ, it was a pleasure for you to be here. Thank you for joining us, sir. We will definitely talk to you. You guys might see CJ a little bit more here and there. We'll definitely figure it out as we go. But until then, like the video. If you enjoyed what you saw, subscribe, comment down below what you want to see us do more. If you're on the podcast version of this, go follow the YouTube, Meta Sports Network on YouTube. If you're on the YouTube, go to any place you can get your podcast and follow Meta Sports Network on any of your podcast services. See you in the next one.
Hey, everybody, look! Wait, before we go, look at the camera. Let's get our thumbnail.
Let's get the thumbnail.
Bet.
Peace.